my line of work as a urban youth specialist, this is an image that I see quite often. Young people from our communities, stabbed, shot, beaten, wounded. And how I arrive at this particular point, it normally starts at about 2:26 or 4:21 in the morning when I'm sleeping in bed. I'm next to my wife. My child is sleeping the other direction with his or her toes in my nose. And I get a phone call, generally off a private number. And the phone call normally sounds like this. Yo, Craig! Come to the hospital now, someone just got shot. Or, excuse me, is this Craig Pinkney? I'm the mother of Sean. I know you don't know me, but is it possible if you could just make your way to the hospital because there's an incident that just literally took place a couple of hours ago. My son's in theatre and all of his friends are saying that you need to come to the hospital. I know we haven't met before, but is it possible if you could just quickly make your way now? And as I do, get out my bed, leave my family, get into the car and make my way to the hospital. And even though I'm passionate about this type of work, there's something that really frustrates me, and I'm going to share it with you. That anytime I go to different places around this city, around the UK, around Europe, I always get faced with this statement: it's not my problem. I generally talk to just general people about raising awareness of youth violence and gun crime and knife crime. And people say, yeah, but it's not really me, it's those types of young people or it's them. And in the back of my head, I'm getting a little bit angry, but frustration, but smiling at the same time. And I'm saying, yeah, but it is our problem. Until it happens to your son, your daughter, your niece, your nephew, your husband, your wife, your partner, your neighbor, your colleague. And the image that is before you are young people from inner city Birmingham, under the age of 21, in the last 3 years that have lost their lives to violence. I could show you another 2 slides of young people in the last 3 years that have lost their lives to knives, to guns. Wrong place, wrong time at a party, having fun. Something happens, sitting on a school bus, something happens, and they lose their life. But why I showed you this image is these young people were not criminals. These young people were not gang members, because I know when the media talk about violence, you always think, oh, it's just gang related. But that wasn't the case. And as a criminologist, part of my work is about trying to understand what causes young people to be violent, asking that most important question, why? Why would a young person that is 16, 15, 17 years old want to pick up a knife and just stab someone at random and they've never met them before? Why would someone want to pick up a gun just because someone lives in a completely different postcode and be prepared to shoot it? Why would someone be prepared to kill a child on a school bus just because they're looking at them for 10 seconds? And the fact of the matter is there's not one answer to answer why young people arrive at that particular point. There's actually a series of factors: dysfunctional families, father absence, racism, poor identities, dysfunctional homes. But one thing that really sticks out for me when I'm analyzing this type of thing is this one word about invisibility. Invisible. What I find in my work is that most young people in our society are invisible, unseen, unheard. And if anybody knows the history of cultures and communities, that when people feel oppressed, when people feel invisible, when people feel unheard, sometimes they do things in order to be visible. So, we might not be able to understand why a young person gets on the bus one day and feels that in order to get credibility, I need to hurt somebody, I need to rob somebody's phone. Our young people are invisible. Sure, you've heard this saying before. Takes a village to raise a child. We always talk about the village. But I would like to extend on that by saying, yes, it takes a village to raise a child, But when you don't recognize the village, sometimes that village can kill a child. And there's also another saying in that same school of thought that if young people don't feel a part of that village, they will burn it down to feel its warmth. I'll say it one more time. If young people feel they are not part of our village, they will burn it down to feel its warmth. So, there's probably people in the room now probably thinking, well, you just kind of shocked me with certain things, and yes, it could be my son, it could be my daughter, it could be a relative of mine, but what can I do? So I'm just going to spend a couple of seconds speaking to that individual in the room that is thinking, well, how can I become like you? How can I do this type of work? So I'm just going to pull out 4 things. Number 1, find out what's going on in your community. Find out what the issue is in your community amongst young people, individuals that involve themselves in certain types of behaviors. Number 2, find out who those people are, the workers, the frontline workers that are doing the real work in that community. Number 3, attach yourself to them. Make contact, inquire, find out, YouTube, social media, find different ways that you can engage with those people. Number 4, create your own platform. And then call young people, call people from the community of all different ages. They can support you in building your own legacy. No different to the way that I'm calling you all right now. Because I did it. I was like many of you in the room right now, sitting in a conference, sitting on a course. And 2 individuals that I met, number 1, Dr. Carlton Howson, spoke quite profoundly about issues that pertain to society. And I was taken aback by that man, and I wanted to meet him and find out a little bit more about him. And when I met him, he started to challenge my mind. He started to challenge my ideas about what it meant to be a man, what it meant to be a black man in Western society, and to understand some of the issues that take place with young people. So when they get labeled as being criminals, and being thugs, and being hoodies, and being gang members, I understand it that when I walk into work Monday to Friday and I get into the lift with my badge on and say, are you a security guard? Are you a cleaner? Do you teach sport? Are you a musician? I've got a staff badge on like everybody else. Shouldn't the question be, what do you teach? Rather than the assumption. So then I met another man, Dr. Martin Glynn, where he was on a course, and it was quite interesting because he said something also quite profound that really shocked me in the way that I thought and the way that I looked at things around this issue of youth and gang violence. And on a break time, everybody didn't want to talk to him. And I walked over to him and said, you don't know me, but my name is Craig Pinkney, and you need to be my mentor. So I exchanged numbers. I was talking to him every single day. I said, we need to meet. And he kind of got fed up. So he said, you know what, just come around to my house. I used to have to go to work 9 o'clock every single morning. I would be at Dr. Martin Glynn's house, 7:30, with my notepad and pen, asking questions, learning concepts, understanding this individual's mind, because I wanted to take that information and not just store it as a walking book, but be able to implement that into my community. And anybody can possess that. It didn't require money. It didn't require a qualification. All it required was dedication and time and reflection. Some of you may have seen this bird before, known as the Sankofa bird. And the concept of Sankofa comes from the Akan people of West Africa. And the concept of Sankofa literally means we have to go back to reclaim our history in order for us to move forward. So how does that apply to the issues of what I'm talking about today? Sometimes we as members of society, we only respond to the symptoms, but we don't ever look at the root causes of what causes individuals to become what they are. So sometimes we need to go back to history to find out, well, what is the root? What are the key things in society that is causing things or causing people to behave in a range of different ways? But also that can mean that looking within self. Looking within. What causes you to do the things that you do? How do you ignite that fire? And when that fire burns out, how do you reignite it again? Because that's what I did. And if I can do it, you can do it. Each one, teach one. the power of us. Thank you.